Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Now, Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy showed gameplay of it. It was comparing it from the original to the remastered. Looks so good. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have not.
Oh my god!
But I'm ready for this game. I remember, it wasn't the Crash Bandicoot game, but it was the racing game.
Oh yeah, the kart racing was freaking amazing.
Because
best kart racer
I remember
ever.
going over to a friend of mine, Brittany Galbraith, because we used to ride to school together and everything. We would go over to her house. Her mom would give me a Yoo-Hoo, and while we were waiting for the bus and everything, it didn't do well. But I would have my Yoo-Hoo, and we would play the kart racing game, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, I still to this day, Crash Bandicoot Racing is better than Mario Kart.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It
is for me because I love that game. It comes with the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games, which is going to be awesome. I'm loving them reimagining the levels, putting them into the new graphics and everything. This is a full remaster.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. I already talked about that one. I have not. Let It Die is a game that you actually can play for free right now on PS4.
Okay.
And I'll probably have some type of, as you can see it right up there.
Yep.
I'll have some type of Let's Play in the next few weeks of it, so I would go ahead and put that in your library. Destiny is doing a festive season kickoff called The Dawning, and has a lot of new armor, a lot of new weapons and all of that, and a few new missions as well. And what's interesting, they're not actually charging you anything for it.
Bungie's finally learned something.
Unless you actually already own the newest DLC. So that's their caveat there. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm
so tired. Going to spiel a little bit.
No, it's okay while I look.
Bungie is just so annoying with that because you could buy all of the DLC right now in the new game for $60. But do you know how much I've had to pay for each and every DLC?
It's probably over $200.
And looking back,
that's why.
Luckily, this last one I didn't have to pay for, but I was.
Well, that's why I didn't even after that one. I switched from the Xbox to the PlayStation, so I went from PlayStation to Xbox and bought the DLC.
Yeah.
So I did. I had the game and everything for less than I would. It was ridiculous.
I was just like, this is Bungie. You know how to milk us.
Mm-hmm. They definitely do. Just grab those udders and
my teats. And
Wipeout. Have you ever played Wipeout?
No.
It was this. It was an old game. You had, not necessarily pod racers, but think of that kind of you have those little jet cars, and it was a very big popular game on the PlayStation. Back in the day, we're talking about old. So seeing it getting a remaster as well is going to be pretty cool. A lot of people were extremely excited about that. Danganronpa 3 is coming to the West, which is a big Japanese RPG that a lot of people like, that was cool to see as well. Yakuza Kiwami and the Yakuza 6 are coming to the West as well. So that's cool. This thing called Dreadnought is also coming, where you get to have a huge ship and in space and fight people. It was okay, I need a little bit more, because it just showed ship. Here's a ship at a different angle.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot to it, but I'm excited to see what it is. Now, the big one before we move off of PSX news, the last trailer that they showed. They started with Naughty Dog, and they ended with Naughty Dog. Last year, PSX was a little lackluster. This year, they just came out, and they just...
There it is.
There it is, guys.
Everybody look at this.
Look at it. Look at it.
Take it all in. Take it all in.
They ended with The Last of Us Part 2. And have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, where she's sitting and playing the guitar.
I know me and Derek had a very long conversation. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions here.
You probably are. Now, while you're doing that, like, I never played The Last of Us, but I watched my little brother Trevor play it, and just the beauty of the game, the it's hard to explain, but it's like the simplicity, but the complexity at the same time of everything was just was just amazing. And the characters that you meet, Joel and all that. It was a beautiful game.
I'm not missing any questions that I could tie in here. So the trailer. Okay. Me and Derek talked about this quite a lot yesterday.
I bet.
You start with this broken down like house looking thing, and you see like a sign with the Firefly symbol on it. Not Firefly the show, but Firefly the group in the game.
Rest in peace.
And then you start seeing you see this hand, and it's got like blood, like bloody knuckles and all of this. And you start, tuning up the guitar and start playing. She's singing, and you start seeing all of these bodies. And she's singing a song, and it definitely equates to what's going on. And then you see a silhouette come through the door and has a gun in his hand. You can tell it's a man.
Yeah.
And it's going through, and you're seeing more and more bodies, like dead. It's not clickers or anything. These are humans, so they haven't been turned. And you're hearing the whole song, and then you get to the bedroom that she's in playing, and you see a body on the floor, like head smashed in and everything. And you hear Joe, he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you gonna do?" And she's like, "I'm gonna kill them all."
Yeah, she said she's gonna make them all pay.
Yeah,
and that's what she's doing.
And me and Derek were talking, and he brought up a pretty interesting point. Like, I thought, okay, well, maybe these are people that she killed. And I was like, that doesn't really seem like her style, that she would just go out of the way to kill somebody. That from how it was played in Last of Us, she was not that kind of cold-hearted person. But it could easily be that these were all Firefly people, and they were murdered. So that would give her some kind of motivation to exact revenge on people.
Yeah.
And then he brought up this thing that he had read, that Joel is actually dead, and that Joel talking to her is in her head, and she's gone off the deep end, and that's like her guide or whatever through the game. So Joel might be gone, but in her mind he lives on, trying to be her conscience.
Okay.
And that would be a really cool way to do it.
Like a little mind mess up right there.
But I brought up the point, well, that's sort of what happened in Batman Arkham Knight with, spoiler alert here, okay? So if you want to, if you haven't played it, it's been 2 freaking years, get over it. I'll pat my head when we start, and I'll pat my head when we're done with that spoiler, okay? So have you played it?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so the Joker is in Batman's head the whole time. So I brought up the point where I was like, that feels a little on the nose towards Batman Arkham Knight with, the whole Joker thing. And he was like, yeah, I totally agree. I thought the same thing. But it would be a really interesting way. I don't know if Naughty Dog wants to be compared to them.
Yeah.
So I'd be very interested to see where they go with that. So
it would be very interesting. Pat.
Okay, so love the trailer, love the reveal. I'm glad that they're calling it part 2. I know, and Ellie is aged up. She's not, in her teens. She looks like she's in her early 20s now. Yeah. I'm curious to see how they do the time warp in there. Not, Rocky Horror, but, warping up to that time, if they're going to fill any things
like a little
in the beginning.
Video, like a cinematic video or something.
Or, play a little bit and then it jumps, and you play and chronologically go up. Or where they just start it and then you find out through, like, her talking to Joel.
Yeah, what's happened.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting that way, but that trailer you got to go watch.
You need,
Yeah, that one and Naughty Dog's trailer and Crash Bandicoot. Oh, wait, all 3 Naughty Dog games.
Uh-oh.
Oh.